used it for passive income, so it's still running down in North Las Vegas now. We moved it from Southern California to Northern Las Vegas, and we can talk about taxes and why. But I enjoyed doing the job as a commissioner. I felt I was really, really good between the tribe and the county, and also the northern part of it, county. So I'd say that's where on my speech.
Well, I was going to lead off with a joke about being cold, but I'm actually kind of chilly coming from outside in a sweatshirt. 108 on the way here was really quite a wake-up call. I guess summer's here finally, about a month late, but it sure feels nice for now. I think we're all asking for warm temperatures. I'm Nick Tim. I'm born and raised here in Okanogan County. I was born in Mid-Valley Hospital, raised on the reservation on Tim Road. Got some family up here in Tonasket, and some family on the reservation, a lot of different places. I served in the United States Air Force for 10.5 years. My job was to fly around the world and solve problems and work with people that liked us, people that didn't like us, and people that really didn't like us. Never failed in that mission. I was really proud of that. I would be in right now still. When my dad got sick, I had to get out and come back and start running things. I'm really happy to be home. This is the only place I've ever called home. Been a business owner since I turned 18. I've done any number of things. Right now we're involved in construction, weed pest control consulting, and some nonprofit work. My wife and I were the ones that found the murals behind the walls a couple years ago. Our claim to fame at that point was that we beat Joe Biden's new cat in the news cycle. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm really happy to be running for County Commissioner, District 1. I feel like I've done everything I can on the private side of things. We've done a lot for Okanogan, the city of Okanogan. We brought about 100 jobs back. We've got FedEx to come back to town, and we have some wonderful recreation opportunities for the whole family to go and enjoy, like the after hours. We work with Larry, the gentleman who runs that. I want to take that to the next level. I want to help Okanogan County out. I want to see what we can do. So thank you.
Thank you. Mark?
Evening, I'm Mark Doney. I am also running District 1 for County Commissioner. A short bio. If you want to go to my website, partygoletmarkdoney.com, I do have a biography on there, so I won't waste a lot of time here now. But we live in Omac. I pastor a small church there. I've been married, I'll live 34 years now. I've got two wonderful kids, three wonderful grandkids. It's hard to believe, but I've been a small business owner, spent 6 years in the Marine Corps, just kind of a country kid growing up, and spent in rural America over in Snohomish County. But anyways, again, if you want more information about me on my bio is on my website. So I'm running this year because, frankly, months ago, many months ago, I already believed that this is the most important election of my lifetime. And then, of course, with now the most recent things that occurred in the attempted assassination of our ex-president, boy howdy, is this the most important election of our lifetime. And I frankly just have been motivated by wanting change. I think a lot of people want that change, and I'm just kind of tired of waiting for change to come. And so that's what's really motivating me to get involved. I've never been a politician. I think that the current climate of our politics, that many politicians unfortunately have forgotten that they're supposed to be public servants. And so I guess one of my primary motivations is to try to get back to that. I think that if I was to get elected, my authority simply comes from the will of the people. I love that the gentleman started with the preamble to the Declaration of Independence there. And I can't quote the Declaration of Independence, I can't quote the Bill of Rights to the Constitution to you, but I consider myself to be a constitutional conservative because those are the most important documents in the world right now. And we've got to get back to those things. So I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm over my time.
This question goes to you, Mark. First question goes to Mark. So after I read the question, she'll start the time at 9 seconds.
Okay. I'm a pastor, I go too long, I'm sorry.
It's all right. What qualifies you to manage a multi-million-dollar county budget?
And I also have to apologize, and I might do this several times tonight. My hearing aids broke, too many guns, too many power tools, and I have my phone to get repaired. So it says, what qualifies you to handle a multi-million-dollar county budget? Is that what you said?
So what qualifies you to manage a multi-million-dollar county budget?
I guess, like business acumen, I had several small businesses over the years, so if you're a small business owner, you know, like I do, what it means to balance a budget, to pay payroll, to have to deal with numbers. I've never had an accountant, so I've always done those things myself. You gotta pay your own taxes, you just gotta deal with all of that stuff, and it's a headache sometimes, so, I think that there's some experience there for me in understanding that aspect of finances. But handling the budget, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna be relying on department heads. I think that some of the most important conversations we're gonna have every year is when the department heads come to you and say, here's our budget for the year, here's the things we've got planned, here's the stuff that we're gonna have going on, and here's the money we need. And then we just figure out what's available. I know that our county is just tight with money every stinking year. We're heavily reliant on grants. It's just being creative. When I met with some certain department heads, I think we've got some really great people in the county that try to do the best we can with the departments that they run and the money that's available. But yeah, so I think some of my background in business would help with that a lot.
So Nick, I'll repeat the question in 90 seconds. What qualifies you to manage a multi-million-dollar county budget?
It's a really good question. Best answer is I'm already doing it as a business owner. Our budget just bumped up into the millions. We have a lot of moving parts. I have 4 separate ventures I'm working right now. We have over 50 people that work for us. We mentor, we sponsor kids, we do internships. This is everything you need to do to build a county up. I have the experience handling, accounts, dealing with people that might not want to pay, people that can't pay. You got to work with them, figure out a way to make things work. I've worked in that area for a long time, and I feel like I've got a good handle on business in that regard. And I'm already working with department heads to establish a good working relationship prior to the election in November. We each have a third of a chance, 33% chance, or 33% chance to get in, and it is my mindset at the moment and going through the election that every time I meet with the county department head and figure out exactly what they're doing, how I can help, how they interact with the commissioners, and how we can do things better, it's worth every minute. It's such an education, they're such good people, and they're working hard, they love the county, and it's obvious. I am really looking forward to that aspect, working with the county department heads and figuring out what the problems are, so thank you.
So Mike, brief question to you again, 90 seconds starts at 30. What qualifies you to manage a multi-million-dollar county budget?
I gotta do it. So, in Perry County, our 30-year accounts payable person retires. This is something you gotta know. 90% of the counties in the county, they have an audited accounts, and they'll have an accounts payable accounts. And usually it's about 1 or 2 of the commissioners on the board will actually go in and delve into the budget and understand restricted funds, where revenue comes from, things like that. And then in the end, the 3 commissioners will pass the budget. I can tell you right now, for the last 7 years in Okanogan County, there's been 1 of your commissioners that really delves into the budget. I don't think the new commissioner, and I don't think the other commissioner did. And it's really, to let everybody know, its government budget is way different than your budget from, what they call money budget, meaning my paycheck here, this is my expenses. Now you gotta go in there and start looking at how much revenue this year we think we're gonna get, how much spending we're gonna get, and everybody in the county, all the employees all want raises, and everybody needs more money, and they ask for more. So, actually, I've done it 1 year. I didn't really want to do it. I could have used some help, but it was kind of thrown into that fire, and so I have done it 1 year. So.
Thank you. So this question is for Nick. And then I'll read it, so this goes around fairly. So Nick, here's the question, I'll read it to you once, you got 90 seconds. Are you concerned with bureaucracy circumventing commissioners' legislative authority, and why?
Absolutely. So there's a term called coordination that has been largely ignored. The state bureaucrats and state agencies are legally required to come to the commissioners and tell them what they're doing, when they're doing it, how they're planning to do it. There's a whole document online about it. It is a fantastic read. If anybody wants it, I'll send it to them. It's something that hasn't been done, and we see this. We we have state agencies coming in and just doing whatever they think is best. And oftentimes, that's not usually the best thing for the landowner or the citizen. If elected, that would be one of the prime things I'm working on, is making sure state agencies follow the law and come talk with us and figure out a plan that works for Okanogan County, not just a top-down approach that we've seen, it seems to be a common approach among all bureaucratic agencies. They're making laws on their own, they're not following the legislative process. We have to remind them who they work for in a polite way. They're humans too. There's no reason to yell at them, there's no reasons to get angry or upset. It's the law, they need to follow it. I intend to make them follow it. So thank you.
Okay, this question goes to, I'm going to read the question in 9 seconds. Are you concerned with bureaucracy, circumventing county commissioner legislative authority, and why?
I'm concerned with our state legislative government and our governor. The county overall in general, I'm not saying exactly, the county is a ward of the state. The state has a lot of power in the Constitution and moving it down. The state has a lot of power. Counties are kind of wards of the state. We have some control of certain stuff, but in the end result, we have to be under there. So we look at the guys you'll be talking to later, that RCWs and laws that they make will have to be followed by the county. I mean, that's kind of one of the biggest things first question we ask of our prosecuting attorney when we try to do anything is, legally, can we do this? So I'm concerned, and I have been concerned for several years, with our legislature and the laws that they make that become unfunded mandates and mandatory decisions for Okanogan and Eastern Washington. That it sounds good on the west side of the state, but doesn't work over here, so it is a concern.
Mark. Does Mark already have a question?
I think I heard you, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
My campaign slogan is smaller government, free of the people, so I'm absolutely sick of bureaucracy. I think that the Chevron deference case that came out of the Supreme Court recently is a good step for us as the people and getting power back to the people and then bypassing legislative authority. We've got all these three-letter agencies that don't ask us, we don't get to vote, they just do things, they just make up regulations. That's ridiculous, it's out of control. It's we, the people, that are supposed to hold the power. So even on a state level, whether it's the EPA or some Growth Management Act thing or some other three-letter agency that's bringing new regulations, again, that we don't vote upon, we don't have a say in, and they're faceless, they're nameless. There's nothing, who do you go to? And they just regulate it. And they regulate our farmers and ranchers to death. They just come up with, the Clean Water Act that they passed recently that immediately takes meat packers and processors and say, now you're going to have to essentially have a new sewage treatment plant basically on your own property for, it's going to cost you $300,000. I mean, where does this stuff come from? It's ridiculous. So I'm absolutely sick of large government and completely for smaller government. I think Ronald Reagan saying some of the scariest words you'll ever hear in your life are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. So they don't fix anything, in my opinion.
This question is with Mike. Okay, Mike, here's the question 90 seconds after the question. Should Olympia pass or amend laws to enhance the county commissioner's legislative authority? And if so, which laws?
I would love that. That sounds like the greatest thing in the world, and I would be all for it if we could somehow get it. And the laws that I would really like to look at is a lot more of our planning, our comprehensive plan of GMA, also our natural resources. There's no sense in WDFW, which is Washington Department of Fish and Game, and Department of Ecology that are mandating a lot of rules for the rural counties that have no idea. They're looking at a map over in Olympia and saying, I think we should save this watershed. They have no idea what's in that watershed. They have no idea the geography of that watershed, how much snow it gets, things like that. So in the end result, there's so many things that need to be controlled at a state or at a county level and not the state level. And then controlled by the people that are using the land 80% of the time. I'm not saying there's a lot of public land in Okanogan County, and I love public land because it's used for everybody. But a lot of the control of that public land shouldn't be away from the locals.
Okay, Nick, I'll read the question in 9 seconds. Should Olympia pass or amend laws to legislative authority, and if so, which laws?
That's a really good question. County commissioners are endowed with a lot of power just being in the position they are. It's legislative, it's quasi-judicial, and it's executive. It is a huge job, but the state does limit some of what we can do. As Michael mentioned, we need to have boots on the ground, solutions to what we're doing. It doesn't work when you manage from a place a million miles away. One thing I always say is we can't play the same games they're playing in DC. That's meant to divide us. We in Okanogan County know that we have more in common than anything these talking heads on the TV are going to tell us. We have to remember that we can be strong, we can be together, and make a positive change in our county. And any real effective change starts on the local level. As I mentioned before, coordination. This starts with the ability for the county commissioners to get in the way of these bureaucrats coming in to try and tell us how to use our land, what to use our resources for, what we can't use our resources for. Seems to be the way things are going recently. And this is an issue we have to get ahead of. We're quickly losing, they keep buying land up in Okanogan County every year. It's more than 77% of the county right now is owned by some state or federal agency. That's very, very close to being none for all of us. We can't thrive, we can't work, we can't live under that sort of rule. If elected, I want to make sure I make the state agencies follow the law, come talk to us, and work for solutions for our economy. Thank you.
Mark, do you need to read the question? Okay, 90 seconds after. Should Olympia pass or amend laws to enhance county commissioners' legislative authority? And if so, which laws?
Yeah, if I'm understanding the question correctly, anything that gives more power to the people on a local level, I would be absolutely for. I think of something as simple as in our county right now, we've got 77% of the land being owned by some sort of state or federal agency. And all of our cities, all of our economic growth, all of our farmers and ranchers, all municipalities, all of our residences have to occur on 23% of the land that's available. And so, if we're going to give more power at the local level and less at the state level that mandates what we do here in this county, absolutely, I think it's good for the people. I think that a lot of solutions, there's a loose term, the solutions they come up with at the state level that they mandate for us here locally that we either cannot do or don't have the funds to even do. I'm talking with some of the department heads and even the sheriff themselves and saying that they've got these unfunded mandates that come from the state level down here to the local county level, and you're required by law to meet those. How? We have no funds for them. And you just snap your fingers and make a new regulation and make it a new law. So, at the end of the day, any more power that we can get here locally and back into the hands of the people, I think is going to be better for all of us.
Okay, next question, we'll start with Nick. Would you support the county health department converting to a regional health district, and why?
So we're already kind of involved in that. That's the regional health district covers a lot of territory. Everything from health inspections to hospitals. We're already working with different counties, different agencies for that, common goal of better health care for our communities and for our citizens. It's not formalized, in a regional health district, it's not formalized yet. There are benefits and there are detriments to all things. There's a cost for every decision. When you give up local control over something like that, you give up local input, you're going to have that much smaller of a voice. If the county, and I think this should go to the people, if elected, my job is just to listen to what the people say. If it goes there, we need to have a long discussion about what would happen if we go to a regional health planning district. There's a lot of differences. There's a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. But we need to understand that as a county, what those would be and what to expect. So we're not caught blindsided.
Give it to those guys.
Just trying to go to the doctor. It's a sad state of affairs when emergency room visits seem to be part of the course anymore. One of the big platform items is bringing more health care to the county. I think we can do that in an effective, positive way. We're bringing jobs and making life better for everybody here. So thank you for the question.
Yes, sir. Question is, would you support the county health department converting to a regional health district, and why?
Answer is no, and I have a vote to prove it, because in 2020 they tried to do it to all of Washington. They tried to go to a regional setup. And I could go into it a long ways, but basically it was trying to But no, big no on that. Keep it there. That's just a way for them to get more regulations put and more, you know, with our, whether it be food permits to our health sewers and things like that. No, I'm a no.
I think you're saying, should the county convert to a district health or health district?
The question is, should the county health department
Yeah.
convert to a regional health district and why?
Well, I'll just be honest, I don't have a lot of experience in that, but I'll tell you this much. Anything that we make a decision on at the county level as commissioners, I think should just be answered by one question. Is this good for the people or not? And if it's not good for the people, then why the heck are we doing it? So if that type of decision was good for the people, well, then we should consider it. I'll tell you one thing I'm concerned about is the 30-day Emergency Powers Act that the governor has turned into a 3-year nightmare. I'm not playing COVID again. And so as a county commissioner, I would take a strong stance against any government overreach that says because of some sort of medical thing going on or some sort of pandemic, we're going to dictate your lives and make you do what is best for you in your own health decisions. And so if that type of a larger district created more bureaucracy and lost more control for the people in their own personal lives, no stinking way. Not doing that.
This question will start with you. This is the next 5th question. What are your thoughts on the regional transportation district that is Trango? Would you expand, reform, or cancel, and why?
Boy, I don't have a lot of knowledge on Trango and their operations. To just be flat out honest with that, that was one of the things I'd have to learn about. Again, I would have to answer the question, is this good for the people or not? And so I would have to rely on other department heads, other people that have more background, other people that have more information. I'm okay with not being the smartest guy in the room. I'm okay with somebody coming to me and having more knowledge about something. We just have a conversation. And if I got to get educated on something, then I'll get educated on it. But at the end of the day, if it's good for the people, we'll do it. And if it's not, then we won't. It's just that simple in my mind. So I don't know how else to answer that, unfortunately.
Okay, Nick, you read the question?
Please.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the regional transportation district that is Trango? Would you expand, reform, or cancel, and why?
My thoughts on it right now is an absolute mess. It hemorrhages money, it transports people that are using drugs, people that are transporting drugs. This is one of the main avenues they're using to get around our county, on the county dollar, on taxpayer dollars. This is something we have to get in front of immediately. We have a huge drug issue in this county. Everybody sees it. Fentanyl's flooding in here from the north and the south. We are a major highway, and that simply adds to the issue. I've worked with Trango in the past. I've been involved with some of their board activities, trying to understand more of what they're doing. There's a right way to do county transportation, but what we're doing right now with Trango is not it. We need more oversight with them from the people to make sure that they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing without harming our county. Right now, again, it's the highway for getting things around this area. Good, bad, and otherwise. You see it, we all see it, and we have to make a change to it right now. Thank you.
You need to repeat the question? Okay. What are your thoughts on the regional transportation district that is Trango? Would you expand, reform, or cancel, and why?
So I gotta be honest and say, I have not looked into a lot of the Trango, into their books and stuff like that, as how the funding is and who is in charge of it, how much of the county, I have not seen it anywhere in the budget. So I'm kinda like Mark on this one. I'm gonna just kinda say, until I get more information and look more into it, I really don't wanna say something that have no idea to.
Okay. All right. So this question starts with Nick. This is question 6. Ready?
Go for it.
Do you feel the current comprehensive plan and the new proposed zone code reflect partial planning or full planning under the Growth Management Act, and why?
The current comprehensive plan is a partial GMA document. There are pieces in there informed from the Growth Management Act. The new planning that's going through would absolutely be GMA. And we cannot let that happen. It's informed from a state level, again, a top-down approach, takes power away from the people, centralizes it away from Okanogan County, and takes the future of our county away from us. Houses are already so expensive. We can't build a house for less than $250,000 at the time for something affordable, something that people want to live in. comes into effect, that doubles, triples. It just keeps going up and it doesn't stop. The Growth Management Act is a document that is supposed to be used for fast-growing areas and not places like Okanogan. We've had a net intake, I think 50 people per year on average, and net growth is very small. We are not a fast-growing area. We have to realize what we have here, not let Olympia control what we're doing, and to stand up and make our home our home. For too long, the government in Olympia has had run roughshod over us, and it's just going to get worse if the GMA comes into effect. We can't let it happen. We have to get in front of it, and we have to keep Okanogan, Okanogan. Thank you.
That's the mic to Mike.
Then you remember how many
Okay,
years.
Mike, the question is, do you feel the current comprehensive plan and the new proposed zone code
13.
reflect partial planning or full planning under the Growth Management Act, and why?
Oh boy, this is a good one, because, I would say it's partial planning right now. Now, there's a lot of things in the comprehensive plan that I don't think that the one they're proposing right at the moment that I do not agree with. I truly believe that the comprehensive plan needs to be revisited. We've looked through it, many of the people looked through it, and they're trying to, I think it's getting pushed through because of lawsuits that have been lost in the court system, and trying to appease having it done. I don't think that's what we should be doing. I think we need to rip the comprehensive plan up and start over again with the planner, the planning commission, which is public input, and we need to have some more knowledge on it. There's no reason it doesn't need to be done really quick. It can take another 5 to 10 years. They've already been waiting 5 to 10 years for a comprehensive plan. Just because somebody's suing us is not a reason to take people's rights away. So in the end result, I would say my support and what the thing is to start a complete new comprehensive plan over with a lot more input and look at for the people, local people, instead of just passing it so that you don't have to settle a lawsuit.
Okay, this question is for Mark now. You need to reread it?
Sure, go ahead.
Do you feel the current comprehensive plan and the new proposed zone code reflect partial planning or full planning under the Growth Management Act?
Yeah, it sure seems like it's kind of being around or to be a full GMA. I understand that by population, we're only required by law to be a partial. There's a couple things that are really concerning to me about what's been going on. Number one, the county gets sued in I was just trying to look up some exact language from some of the court rulings and the appellate court rulings, but there is no specificity whatsoever that has ever been shown that the county was violating any law, any RCW, any WAC whatsoever. And so a lawsuit comes, and apparently we kowtow to certain special interest groups or whatever, and don't stand up and say, what are we doing that's actually wrong? How are we violating the law? Why does it have to be revised? I don't know. I personally believe, no matter what the planning department ends up doing, no matter what the commissioner ends up voting in, I'll bet you we're going to get sued again, because you're not going to please these people, period. I think we're going to need to stand up and kind of take a little more proactive approach to this and start doing some pushback and say, what's wrong with what we were doing before? Was it using too much water? Were we issuing permits that weren't legal? Were we allowing people to dig wells that the land couldn't handle? I don't think so at all. In fact, I found absolutely nothing that proves that we were. All you have is somebody that's screaming and yelling, saying we're doing it wrong and you need to fix it. And so they're fixing it. But they're trying to fix it in a specific way that I don't know what the violations are. And I think we should be asking that. So, yeah, it feels like they're trying to ram our full GMA down our throats, and that's just not what we need at all.
Thank you. This question will start with Mike. All right, Mike, what is your definition of the difference between republicanism and democracy?
My difference between republicanism and democracy. Democracy. So I would say I look at it more as in a republic is the people have the choice, not the majority. Not the majority, I guess is what I'm trying to say it. The republic. So in the end result, the majority can't take it, and I guess that's what I would go on. Or is that? I guess I've never really thought about that.
Okay.
Words.
So Nick, what's your definition? the difference between republicanism and democracy.
That is a good question. Republicanism, in my mind, is representation. It's the republic. It's representative of what the people's will wants. We have a representative democracy, a public democracy right now. We elect our representatives to go and vote and make laws and make decisions. Democracy, would just be straight popular vote, send it to the people, go, go, go. We need an informed voter base for that. We're moving to that. We need to continue getting people more involved. I feel especially after COVID, people saw what was happening. They're more interested in getting involved at these events. I mean, these are coming back. This is exactly what we need. It comes down to how you want your area, your county, your country run. Do you want a top-down system where they don't take the local reality into consideration? Or do you want a ground-up approach that's going to bring success to the county with the county's constituents and what they define and what they want their futures to be? I think that'll wrap it up.
Okay, all right. Mark, what is your
It's simple in my mind. We're a democratic republic, so we are a representative form of government. A democracy is mob rule. It never works.
Okay. We'll start with Nick. You each have 2 minutes for conclusion, and we'll go to Mike.
First off, thank you all for being here. As I mentioned before, we're still recovering from COVID, not as health-wise, but as people. That was a deep wound on our country and a deep wound on our psyches, and people still don't want to come out. They're afraid. They don't want to interact. You see it all over the place. We're just trying to get people to go out and engage. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. It warms my heart. It gives me hope that we can get back to a real community, in real-life community instead of just virtual. My campaign slogan is Strong Roots, Bold Future. I'm from Okanogan. I understand what we need. I've seen it, I've lived it. I've been a farmer my entire life. Okanogan is an amazing place to live. I've been to all 7 continents. I've been to over 100 countries. And I can tell you, hands down, there is no other place I'd rather be than here. The people, the places, everything here, that makes it such an amazing place to live. My platform is built on bringing the right kind of business back to Okanogan. We want real farms. We don't want data farms. We want meat and fruit packing plants instead of data facilities just coming in from Seattle and taking all our electricity and all our water to cool their facilities. We need to remember that we are stronger together than we are ever apart. We're Okanogan County. This is my home. It's your home. And I'm very much looking forward to the election, and I'm very much looking forward to serving you folks. You're awesome, and thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, Mike, we have 2 minutes.
So I just want to let everybody know, one of my main, my loves is not even for Okanogan, Perry County, the whole Eastern Washington. I feel like we're at a turning point in Okanogan County. Over COVID, the same thing here. Growth was really tremendous, believe it or not, in Perry, Okanogan County. We have a lot of people moving in. With telecommunications, Zoom now, we don't have to have an economy, a ground-based economy. We have people coming from other places, metropolitan areas, and they can be consultants on their Zoom calls. They can do that. We no longer have mills. We have never seen anything like this, which now the land is worth more for somebody's building than it is for agriculture. So how does a farmer make it? When he looks, or an orchard, my neighbor, the orchard guy that says, I got 300 acres and it's worth way more if I break it up and put houses on it. How do we work on that? That's where we're at. We're at a breaking point. I just say I'm going to do everything I can to fight to keep the county rural. I like the small communities. I like to know your neighbor. I don't like a bunch of people from nowhere that come in and decide they want to have it like they just left. I've seen it in places like Coeur d'Alene, Dayton, Idaho, Sun Valley, Idaho. It's happening all over the country, and we're getting really close to it happening right here in Okanogan Valley, and I'm going to be there to try to fight it as much as possible. Thanks.
All right, Mark, we have 2 minutes.
Okay. I I think sometimes people think that running for office, you're kind of unique and special, and in my mind, I don't see that, because I think our whole county is full of people that believe that they want to be a part of the process and want to effectuate change, whether you're a coach or a teacher or a parent, mom, dad, grandparent. And I just feel the same thing. I just feel like I just want to be a public servant. I just want to step into leadership and do what's right for the people. I think we've gone off track, like I said at the beginning. I think that politics has become too much about having a resume or doing what's best for you in your career, doing backdoor shady deals, doing stuff that furthers you and advances you as a person or as a business or as whatever. We've completely lost sight of what it means to serve to the will of the people. I'm really, really concerned about the erosion of our constitutional God-given rights. And I think all the authority is derived by the from the people, it's for the people, it's by the people, as it says in our important documents, and we need to get back to that. I'm not going to kid myself and say that I have all the answers and all the solutions, because I don't, and it's going to be hard work, but one thing I'm not afraid of is taking hard work. I've always expected the utmost from myself, because I've always expected it from others. I've never been expected to get paid to stand there holding the shovel, and I'm certainly not going to pay somebody to stand there and hold one. And so if I got to let this county commissioner, I would expect that from all of our department heads and from every county agency that's out there serving the people. That we do our work, we do our job, and we do it because people's lives are on the line. It's not a game. This is not something we should take with a cavalier, flippant attitude. There's tens of thousands of people's lives that are going to be affected by every decision that we make. So I would appreciate your vote come the election in August and in November. Thank you.
Do we give our county candidate